Hello and welcome to 7 Minute Guitar. Also check us out on facebook.com/7Minute Guitar for the resources that are used in these videos. Hello and welcome to another Theory Thursday. Last week we talked about note duration. This week we're going to talk about rest duration. Before we get into this, I'm going to do a quick review of note duration. Between last week and this week, I found a resource I think you're really going to like. Now last week I was really trying to express the equivalency, and I don't really feel like I made a clear enough presentation. So here we had our whole notes. Our whole note is equivalent to 2 half notes, and our whole note is equivalent to 4 quarter notes. Our whole note is equivalent to 8 eighth notes. Our whole note is equivalent to 16 16th notes. So, and of course, 2 quarter notes make a half, 2 eighth notes make a quarter, 4 eighth notes make a half note, and so on. I started drawing this, and it looks like somebody drew it. But anyways, there it is. I will get this up at facebook.com/7Minute Guitar. And have this right here so that you'll have this as a resource under the Theory Thursday photo folder. Really quick, before we get to the rests, it's important to know that there is such a thing as a 32nd note and a 64th note, but they are very rarely used. Just like music notes, whole, half, quarter, eighth, 16th, there are rests. Whole rest, half rest, quarter rest, please excuse my poor penmanship, 8th rest, and 16th rests. Also, just like a note, it is rarely a 32nd rest or a 64th rest. So this over here is quite rare. Now this shows that the rests and the notes take up the same amount of space in the measure. So, if we had 4 notes, 4 quarter notes in a measure, let's see, here's how it might sound. And that's one measure. Now, what if we were to replace one of the quarter notes with a rest? Now, 1, 2, so you see how that rest worked right in the middle of it. It's not always important to know what notes to play. Sometimes it's important to know when not to play a note. So a whole rest occupies the same amount of time as a whole note. It's drawn as a box descending from this 4th line here on the measure, the staff. The half note, same as a half note, or half rest is the same as a half note. And it's drawn as a box ascending from this center line. Now, the quarter rest, same as a quarter note, it's this weird squiggly thing. You're going to have to find it because I'm not very good at drawing it. The 18th is this kind of backward 7 with a bubble, little flag guy, 16th, 2 of them. And again, rare to have a 32nd or a 64th. Again, I tried to write out what the rests look like: a whole rest, a half rest, quarter rest. Thankfully, I got a much cleaner one online. So, a whole rest is equivalent to a half rest, just the same as the whole note is equivalent to 2 half notes. So, in our rests here, here's a good example of what a quarter rest looks like. It's kind of like somebody used a calligraphy pen rather than electronic whiteboard marker. And if this was to go on, there would be 2 32nd notes here. So there would be 32 32nd notes across the bottom, equivalent to 1 whole rest. And I keep saying note, but I'm meaning rest in this point. I do hope this has cleared up note duration for you from last week, and it clears up rest duration for this week. If you like what you saw, please thumbs up that video. Subscribe to the channel, that way you don't miss the lesson. And leave your comments and suggestions below. I will get this picture and this picture on facebook.com/7minuteguitar, and I'll put these in the Theory Thursday folder so that you'll have a reference to look at. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Wait, there's more. Here's a bonus segment covering dots and ties. Augmentation dots and tenuto ties are two types of markings used to alter a note's duration. A dot increases the duration by 1/2. Since eighth notes is half the duration of a quarter note, we will substitute it for the half symbol. As you can see, a dotted quarter note is equal to a quarter note plus an eighth note. A dotted quarter note can also equal 3/8 notes. Ties merge multiple notes of the same pitch. They are used to let the duration of a note travel across barriers such as the measure line in this example. The fourth and fifth notes are now combined. If the measure line were not here, we would have written a half note instead.